Hey everyone, it's Deb. Welcome back to Christmas in July with Gracie21. There are, I believe, 9 of us in this collaboration, and we're posting on Mondays in July. And I believe this is week 4 because we did start on July 2nd, I think it was. So, let me go through what I used in my cards. I used a variety of things. First, I used this paper. It's a plaid gold, and that came out of the Year of Cheer designer paper from Stampin' Up, and that is in their clearance rack. So if you're interested in it, it's available on the website in the clearance rack, and I'll put a link to my Stampin' Up store below. So you can order it through me on the website and then just go to the clearance rack and shop. So it's still available. It's the same one pack that had the snowflake paper in it, and it also has like a I don't know if you've seen it, in gold and silver. Really pretty paper. But I just used the plaid this time. Now Stampin' Up does sell foil paper in gold, silver, champagne, and maybe one other color. I can't remember, but I only had the silver and champagne. So I had recently gotten in some haul this DCWV Metallics matte stack. So I did use one piece of, I think this was gold, I don't know. It sort of looks more, I don't know, bronze to me now. But I did use one piece of that. I also used papers from one of the designer series papers that are currently on sale. This stack here, and it's called Under the Mistletoe. And I used only one sheet, and it was, one second, this one with the plaid on one side and the poinsettias on the other side. So that's the sheet I used. I don't yet have my cardstock from Stampin' Up built up, so I did use, oops, sorry Callie, I had to move you a minute. I believe two pieces of the dark green Recollections here and one of the red. So until I get my Stampin' Up cardstock base build up. Oh, I'm getting batted at by my cat. I used some Dollar Tree red bling. I used a little bit of white with gold metallic offray ribbon. I used my new Stampin' Right 2018 to 2020 in color. And guys, these markers are dye ink, water-based dye ink. These are the same stuff that's in your Stampin' Up stamp pads. I also use the lovely lipstick Stampin' Pad, which is the same as the marker in the pack. I also used the Call Me Clover. For 2 of the cards, I used this color box, the gold ink in here. And somewhere in this I used, wherever you see black, I used our Ranger Archival ink. I think Stampin' Up just discontinued Archival ink and has gone for Memento Tuxedo Black, which I have on order actually. Let me put this away real quick to make room. Okay, and then as far as stamp pads and die cuts, I did use the brand new limited time only offer from Stampin' Up called Blended Seasons. It's a 2-set, 1 of 2, 2 of 2 clear mount stamp set, which means it's red rubber. You mount it on clear block. Out of that, I used the Merry Christmas, and I used the Holly Berries across here. And that's it in the stamps. And then I also used, well, from that matching Stitch Season framelits, I used quite a few things. I used some flourishes, and I used several of the stitched, I don't know what to call them, tags or centers. Yeah, anyway. And then in this one, which is Labels to Love, which is still available also, and it goes with this everyday label punch. I use the Merry Christmas and Best Wishes for a Happy New Year. This is still available in the catalog and on the website, as is the punch. And you can see it has Halloween and Christmas and love and whatever. I also used the Ho Ho Ho. So I used a Merry Christmas and Best Wishes for a Happy New Year, and also Ho Ho Ho. So I think that's it for stamp sets. If I find anything else, I'll let you know as we go. I did find one piece of shiny red paper in my scraps, and I used that just for a bow. And I think that's it. Let's get started. Okay, so the first card is this Merry Christmas. This is the stitched tag or banner, whatever you want to call it. This is where I stamped out Merry Christmas in the gold ink. These are gold flourishes out of the set and the bow, which are cut out of the gold foil paper. Here's where I use ribbon wrapped around. Sorry for my fingers, they're all inked up. And then on the inside, oh, I did use, let me figure out where I got that from. Okay, I found it. This sentiment, it's from Holly Berry Happiness. This is not in the current catalog. It's been retired this year. But may the happiness of family, the joys of friendship, and the warmth of love surround you this season. And I stamped that out in the gold ink. I wasn't sure what to put inside since I had Merry Christmas on the front already. So that was the first card. And I believe that's the only thing I used that sentiment on, or that stamp set. This one is gold foiled. And what I did here, oh my gosh, I just see I got something all over that. Well, this one, I might have to redo the bow or put another layer on top. Anyway, I cut it out of the gold foil, the big piece. And then what I did is I cut a smaller one out in the white. And then I bumped up both of them. I bumped up the bottom gold piece so that there's like a little space under there. And so that it looks like the double stitching. And then I bumped up this one as well, and then I cut out two of the white bows, but this one seems to have some color bleed on it from somewhere. Anyway, and then I just put Best Wishes for the Season. I did Merry Christmas in the archival and Best Wishes for the Season. And okay, the Best Wishes for the Season also came out of Holly Berry Happiness. Sorry about that. So that's the second card, which, wow, I have trouble with the foil. I don't really like using it that much except for accents, because if you get glue on it, it's hard to come off. Okay, this is the next one that I did. I used the Green Recollections cardstock, a piece of red on top of that, and then this is out of the Under the Mistletoe. This is one of the framelits in the kit. But I used the stamp from the Labels to Love, and I just stamped it. Since it already had the little circles on the end, it kind of went with the smaller of the framelits anyway. And then I just put some Dollar Tree bling on each corner, and then inside is white, extra little strip of the plaid paper. And I just die cut this holly berry, I guess, or mistletoe, and colored it with my Stampin' Right markers with the Call Me Clover and the lovely lipstick colors in here. And I just put it on at the top with one piece of the Dollar Tree bling. So that's that one. I kind of like that one. The next one, I used the reverse side of that plaid paper, which is the poinsettia, and I cut it so that I could have one of the poinsettias centered on the card. Then up here, I made a banner with the plaid side because I had a little strip left over. Then I made another banner with just white, went around the edges of that with the lovely lipstick. But I stamped the Blended Seasons holly berry thing here. And then I also, from that same set of the framelits, did the mistletoe again and a piece of red bling. And to get those corners right, I used this triple banner, triple punch, yeah, I think it's called triple banner punch, where you can do different widths. I used the smaller, the 1 inch, I believe it is, for both of them. And these again were colored in with the Stampin' Right markers, the Clover and the Call Me Clover and the lovely lipstick. I'll never remember all these names. And then in here I just had a strip, it's of the plaid, which is an accent. And again, the one Merry Christmas and Best Wishes for a Happy New Year, but this time I did punch it out with the Everyday Label punch. That one. Okay. So that's the fourth one. I have 2 more. This one I kept pretty simple. This is on the green cardstock again. Underneath, I just have a piece of white cardstock. I used the Ho 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 from the Labels to Love down here, and it is, if it looks blurry, it does have a shadow on that. So I used that. And what I did on this one is I punched out the stitch shape, but I didn't use the stitched out, the cut part. What I did is I cut the paper first to the size I wanted it to be on the front of the card. Then I cut a piece of white cardstock, just a tiny bit smaller than that. I rounded the edges on both of them. Then I stamped the Ho 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 in the Call Me Clover. And then I glued that down first, and then I popped up the top layer, if you can see it, on the Stampin' Up dimensionals, you know, these things, Stampin' dimensionals. And this is the older label, which I'm still working through. And then on the inside, I just very simply put Merry Christmas on white rounded corner cardstock. And this is a 110-pound cardstock, the white, which was in my stash. And that's Call Me Clover again. And the Merry Christmas, of course, is from the Blended Seasons. I really like that script, Merry Christmas. And the last one, I again used the plaid. I punched out, or die cut the smaller of the stitched labels. I actually had this Merry Christmas on a practice sheet of white paper, but it was a long enough strip that I could cut it and use it on the front of here. Put some Dollar Tree bling on, and out of that scrap foil I did one little bow, and I was originally thinking of putting it up here, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I liked it better, sorry, there. And on the inside, again, just an extra strip of paper and a plain red paper flourish at the top, and no words. And that is my card share. So let me just lay them out here. Maybe you can see them. So 6 cards. Let me know which is your favorite. And that one is probably going in the discard bin. But there we go. All 6 cards, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and come back again next week for Christmas in July with Gracie21, and also be sure to check out the other individuals participating in this challenge. They'll be linked below. I will also put a link to my Stampin' Up portal to the website. I would really appreciate it if you don't have a demonstrator to buy through me. And yeah, they have, oh, and guys, this Blended Season set is available starting August 1, as well as the Stitched Seasons framelits, which I really like, the framelits. And I'll be doing more with Blended Seasons. I've only just used the Christmas so far, but there's a whole other seasonal stuff in there. And their Christmas catalog is going to be coming out not too long from now. I got a sneak peek of some of the stuff, and wow. So yeah, be ready for the holidays for sure. Okay? Hugs, love, and peace. Until the next time. Bye for now.